Hey there, Carrie Clark here with SLP Solution and Speech and Language Kids. And today I'm going to show you how to teach a child to answer who questions. So we're going to start off by telling the child that who means person. And that we're going to keep repeating throughout this process. But we want to break it down into different types of who questions and start with the easier ones and work our way up. So step one then, the easiest type of who question is going to be who questions about themselves and their caregivers, or the people that are most familiar to them. So we can start by saying, who are you, or who is this, and point to them, and just have them say their own name, and then pointing to mom or dad or other people that are in their life consistently, and saying, who is this, and having them say that person's name. Now, this can be in person, or if you don't have access to those people, you can get pictures of them. But step one then is just going to be answering who's this to self and caregivers. So then step two is going to be doing the same thing, but we're adding in other familiar people. So maybe these are teachers or kids in the class or cousins or brothers or sisters, grandparents, anyone else who is familiar enough that they would know the name, but not just themselves and their caregivers. So that's step two then, is to add in who's this with familiar people. So step three then is we're going to answer who questions about things that are happening right here. So things that are currently present. So I have this worksheet here, which is a great way to start with this, or you can do this with real people in the room who are doing things. So you might say, who is sitting? And they have to look around and name people that are sitting. Or if you're using one of these worksheets, who is blowing bubbles? And they would have to say, he is blowing bubbles, or the boy, or however they want to answer that. So the key is there that you are asking a who question about something that's happening next to the child or near the child. So that would be step three. Step four then is going to be who questions about the past. So now we're talking about things that are not immediately present, that they can't immediately see, but that they could answer questions about. So here is another worksheet, and you can see at the top this who equals person to give them that cue. But maybe this one is, who made your breakfast this morning? Or who did you play with at recess? So these are things they can't see. They're going to have to use their brain to, number one, think through what kind of a question is this? It's a who question. I got to think of a person. And then to think back on that event to see if they can remember which person it was, which can be hard for some of our children. So that's step four, is who questions about the past. Now you might stay on each of these steps for quite a while before you move on, so don't feel like you have to rush through all 5 of these steps at once. But then step 5 is going to be hypothetical who questions. So these are usually things like community helpers, because we would say things like, who puts out fires? This is my favorite. I asked a child this once, who puts out fires? And they said, Mommy. And I was like, oh no, how many fires have you been having at your house? So who puts out fires? Who drives a police car? Who brings our mail? So community helpers are great for hypothetical who questions, but it can also be other types of who questions besides community helpers. But you're just thinking beyond things that are more concrete and moving to more abstract. So that's what I have. Some of these worksheets, let's see, these two are free over on speechandlanguagekids.com if you want to download those. This one is from one of our no prep kits over on slpsolution.com, and that's our paid membership program for speech language pathologists. But you definitely have access to those free ones, so head on over to speechandlanguagekids.com and you can get a hold of those. And we have lots more resources. I just did a video yesterday on answering where questions. And I think tomorrow's is yes/no questions. So stick around, watch some more videos. We'll have more great tips for you on how to teach children a lot of different speech and language skills. So don't forget to subscribe for more videos. All right, thanks so much.